AITA for defending a bride who left her husband at the altar. Okay, so boom, my husband and I attended a wedding. It was his kinda cousin/niece's wedding. I'm not sure how to describe the relationship, but they were close growing up. The wedding was a bit unique. There was a brunch before the actual ceremony with the bride and groom. Then, for an hour, the wedding party left to get ready while all the guests were still at brunch. Then the actual ceremony and the real reception was supposed to happen after. I thought everything was normal. At the brunch, the couple looked happy and excited and a little nervous maybe. My husband had told me there had been a little drama leading up to the wedding because the groom's family insisted that the groom's ex should attend the wedding because they have a good relationship. The ex is an empt and she apparently saved the mother-in-law's life once. The bride didn't want the ex to attend, but she caved in. At the actual ceremony, as you might have guessed from the title, the bride never showed. After a few minutes of awkward silence with the music playing as we waited for the bride's father came and told everyone she left. The groom was crying. The mother-in-law was yelling. It was such a huge mess. At the reception, they basically just told people to take to-go boxes of food so it didn't go to waste. Since a lot of family was in town for the wedding, the bride's side of the family was hosting a reunion. At the reunion, the bride said the reason she left the groom at the altar was because at the brunch the ex told her that she slept with the groom and apparently showed the bride a tape she made with the groom. The bride was distraught and left because she didn't want to marry a cheater. The groom's side of the family was slandering the bride on every social media platform possible, so the bride's side decided to fire back, and they were publicly accusing the groom of cheating on her, and it was just a big mess. The groom comes to the bride's house to try and clear things up, so the groom didn't actually cheat on the bride. The tape was from years and years ago. The groom's appearance just hadn't changed that much, so the bride believed the ex when she said it was recent. The ex was just trying to break them up. The ex confessed to it too. To my surprise, instead of everyone being angry at the ex, everyone turned on the bride. Her family was upset with her for wasting money, being gullible, not letting the groom defend himself first. Everyone was yelling at her. I thought it was crazy, so I spoke up in her defense. I would have believed it too if there was video evidence, plus the fact that she was practically forced into the ex attending their wedding. Now the whole family is against me, and I'm a bride, and it's so awkward and everyone is acting cold. My husband is upset because he now feels like if someone accused him of cheating on me, I'd just take their word for it. But I feel that's completely unfair. Mini update. Okay, so my hubby came back to the hotel room, and I showed him the post because he knows I like using Reddit. I mentioned a specific comment to him where one Redditor asked me how are we sure the tape was old and that the groom and ex aren't just covering their affair up by lying and saying it's old. I told my husband, and at first, he laughed, but he started to think about the whole situation. I guess, while hubby was still at the bride's house trying to help with the situation after I left, the environment was getting too much for me, so I went back to the hotel. The groom had been groveling to the bride. Even though he was exonerated by the ex admitting it was fake, he was still being very apologetic, which threw my husband off a bit. Like even though he maintained he didn't cheat, instead of being angry about being left at the altar and publicly humiliated, he seemed to just want his wife to forgive him. I thought this would be normal because the groom probably feels horrible about allowing the ex to ruin the day and hurt the wife like that. But my husband said it was unusual behavior for the groom. Apparently, the groom is the type who would never apologize for a mistake that wasn't his. My husband knows the groom better than me, so he thinks it's plausible that the groom did cheat by the way he's acting. But he's not going to bring it up because of how high tensions are, and it might just make things worse. I also explained how and why I felt like my husband was being unfair to me by saying he thinks I believe anyone who accused him of cheating on me. He apologized and told me he was just stressed out earlier and he feels like we wasted money on this trip and haven't seen our kid for days over this wedding that got blown up over a lie. The bride texted me thanking me for defending her. Most of the slandering social media posts were taken down. The ex posted on social media playing victim. Well, not really, but she's posting like heartbreak stuff and those depressed Bart Simpson memes at her big age. The groom's mother pulled up to the bride's house after I left and was threatening to burn the place down because she was mad the bride humiliated her son over a lie. It was such a huge wedding. He had many co-workers and stuff there. I feel like I'm missing something. but I'm tired and it's been a long day. Edit plus question. A few people are saying I should show this post to the bride, but I'm a bit scared she won't react well to me putting her business online because I don't know her that well. But at the same time, I feel like she might appreciate that most people are on her side. But also, I don't really want her to see my conspiracy theory about how the husband actually cheated on her because there's no actual proof. Should I?